Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good day everyone. So, introducing my group members, which is me myself, Muhammad Akmal bin Azhar, Muhammad Hanafi bin Sarwadi, Nur Faik Azunah binti Ishaq, Nur Umairah binti Yayas, and Nurin Farahiyah binti Muhammad Nur Fadli. So today, we will present to you about the relationship between employee engagement and organizational citizenship behavior among employees in organizations.
Let's move forward to our introduction proposal research project. Organizational success depends not only on formalities but also on discretionary effort. Our organizational citizenship behavior (OCB), employee engagement, a positive state defined of vigor, dedication, and absorption, is considered a primary driver of performance. OCB involves voluntary extra role acts such as helping colleges or volunteering for additional tasks. This study aims to examine the dynamic relationship between employee engagement and OCB, recognizing engagement as a critical antecedent of positive citizenship behavior. Next, for the problem statement is the organizational face a critical issue, a noticeable decline in OCB characterized by employees' low willingness to perform extra role tasks, often linked to weak leadership or feeling undervalued. This behavioral deficit is suspected to stem from a low level of employee engagement, where emotionally disconnected employees perform only the minimum required work. This low engagement consequently leads to decreased OCB, severely hindering effective teamwork and overall organizational productivity and climate. Therefore, this research seeks to analyze and confirm the significant relationship between employee engagement and OCB to address these critical behavior gaps. They have three research objectives. The first one is to analyze the level of employee engagement among employees in the organization. The second one is to analyze the level of organizational citizenship behavior among employees in the organization. The last one is to analyze the relationship between employees engagement and organizational citizenship behavior among employees in the organization. So what about the research question? They also have three research questions. For the first one is what is the level of the employee engagement among employees in the organization? The second one is what is the level of organizational citizenship behavior among employees in the organization? The last one is there a significant relationship between employee engagement and organizational citizenship behavior among employees in the organization?
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Muhammad Hanafi bin Sarwadi. Today I will explain the conceptual and operational definition of employee engagement and organizational citizenship behavior (OCB). Employee engagement refers to the level of commitment and involvement an employee show toward their work. According to Han 1990, as cited in SIS 2020 P33, it is a state where employees commit to their roles by expressing themselves physically, cognitively, and emotionally while performing their tasks. It occurs when employees are so focused and absorbed in their work that time seems to fly, and it becomes difficult to disengage from their tasks. Swiftly at all 2002, as cited in SHMR3033-02, 2022 P4. Additionally, employee engagement is described as a condition where employees feel enthusiastic, passionate, energetic, and fully committed to their work. Mellon and Warner 2040, as cited in Hermawan, Tamrin, and Susilo 2020. In short, employee engagement is about being fully present, motivated, and emotionally connected to the work we do. For an organization to run smoothly, OCB includes several admirable practices. According to Organ 1997, Posakov et al. 2080, Bolino et al. 2023, and others, this behavior include helping co-workers, being flexible with work schedules, and improving the overall organizational climate. Formally, Organ 1988, as cited in SIS 2020, P33, define OCB as voluntary action by employees that are not formally rewarded but contribute to the efficient and effective functioning of the organization. Similarly, Posakov, McKenzie, Mormon, and Fitter 1990, as cited in SIS 2020 P33, describe OCB as consisting of several behavioral dimensions, including altruism, conscientiousness, courtesy, sportsmanship, and civic virtue. Furthermore, Jagahir Akbar and Haq 2004, as cited in Al-Shabani, Nas, Megda, and Runik 2021, explain that OCB is a set of discretionary workplace behavior that go beyond an employee fundamental job requirement and exert the call of duty. In short, OCB is about voluntarily doing more than what is required, helping others, and contributing to a positive and effective organizational environment. The next part is operational definition of employee engagement and organizational citizenship behavior (OCB). In this case study, employee engagement is measured operational to assess the positive and satisfying work-related state of my experience by employees. This measurement uses the short version of the Attract Work Engagement Scale (OWES 9), a 9-item scale developed by Scoffley et al. 2002, as cited in Al-Shabani et al. 2021. The scale uses a 7-point rating system ranging from 0, never, to 6, always, to evaluate 3-dimension vigor, dedication, and absorption. Al-Shabani et al. 2021. OCB is measured operational to assess employees' voluntary and discretionary behavior to go beyond their formal job requirements and help improve organizational effectiveness. This measurement uses a scale adapted from Perskov et al. 1990, as cited in Al-Shabani et al. 2021. The scale consists of 10 items and use a rating system where 1 means never and 5 means always. Al-Shabani et al. 2021. In short, this measurement allows researchers to quantify how engaged employees are with their work and how much they voluntarily contribute to the organization beyond their basic responsibility.
Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. My name is Nurin Farahiyah. Today, let me begin by explaining our dependent variable, which is organizational citizenship behavior or OCB. Across the literature, scholars consistently highlight that OCB increases when employees feel psychologically empowered, emotionally supported, and motivated by their leaders. Transformational leadership especially stands out. It builds trust, confidence, and emotional engagement, which encourage employees to go beyond their formal job description. similar with leadership styles such as transformational, transactional, and even laissez-faire shape how actively employees perform extra role behavior. Additionally, emotional intelligence and spiritual intelligence also contribute significantly. Employees who manage emotion well, empathize, and work ethically are more likely to demonstrate altruism, courtesy, and continuous. All is core of the component of OCB. Next, our independent variable, which is employee engagement. Engagement is defined as a positive psychological state characterized by vigor, dedication, and absorption. When employees feel engaged, they show high motivation and willing to take on extra role tasks. This contrast is supported by theory such as social exchange theory, SET, the norm of receptory, and highest engagement theory. The literature clearly showed that engaged employees exhibit stronger performance, higher loyalty, and more OCB. Previous study confirmed that engagement leads to better job satisfaction, low turnover intention, and enhanced declaratory behavior. These make engagement a crucial factor influencing both individual and organization success. Finally, this slide shows that the connection between the two variables is well supported in the past studies. When employees are highly engaged, they are showing the vigor, dedication, and absorption. They will naturally engage in more voluntary and more pro-social action, which are the key elements of OCB. Engagement creates a sense of psychological attachment and belonging. Employees become more willing to help others, support teamwork, and contribute beyond what is required. The job demand resource, JDR model, person job fit theory, and job crafting theory all explain how engaged workers invest more mental and emotional effort, which in turn strengthens their OCB. Overall, the literature strongly agree. Higher engagement consistently predicts strong citizenship behavior, making the relationship both meaningful and impactful for organization.
First, let me introduce the variables of this study. The independent variable IV is employee engagement. This refers to how emotionally connected, committed, and involved employees are in their work. Meanwhile, the dependent variable DV is organizational citizenship behavior or OCB. This includes the voluntary extra role behaviors employees show that support the organization. By establishing these two variables first, we can better understand how they relate to one another. Based on these variables, our hypothesis proposed a clear relationship. Hypothesis 1 states that there is a significant positive relationship between employee engagement and OCB among employees in the organization. In simpler terms, when employees are more engaged, they are more likely to display higher levels of OCB. Therefore, employee engagement is expected to have a positive and significant effect on OCB. Next, let me explain the framework supporting this relationship. The relationship in this study is best explained by the social exchange theory or SET. According to SET, when employees receive favorable treatment from the organization, they feel motivated to reciprocate. In this context, OCB becomes the primary mechanism through which employees repay their positive treatment. Moreover, employee engagement acts as an indicator of a successful social exchange because an engaged employee who is emotionally connected and committed is already giving back to the organization psychologically. Therefore, the theory supports our hypothesis that higher engagement should lead to higher levels of OCB. First, let me explain the research design. This study used a quantitative research approach with a cross-sectional design. In other words, data was collected at a single point in time to analyze the relationship between the variables. For the data collection method, we used a questionnaire survey based on a modified version of two well-established scales, the Employee Engagement Scale and the Organizational Citizenship Behavior or OCB scale. This ensures that the measurement tools are reliable and valid. Next, let's take a look at the population. The target population consists of employees working in the manufacturing sector. More specifically, our sample includes full-time employees from selected manufacturing companies who have worked for at least 6 months. This criteria ensure that respondents have sufficient experience to evaluate their engagement and behavior accurately. Finally, for the sampling method, we use convenient sampling, mainly due to accessibility and time constraints. This method allows us to collect data efficiently from available respondents within the required time frame. The sample size ranged from 60 to 100 respondents, which is sufficient to generate meaningful statistical analysis for this study.
Our study examined how employee engagement influences organizational citizenship behavior in the workplace. We used two well-established and highly reliable instruments, the Utrecht Work Engagement Scale by Stoffeli et al. And the Organizational Citizenship Behavior Scale by Pottseko et al. Data will be collected through a self-administered online questionnaire distributed via Google Form for easy access. The survey includes demographic question, employee engagement item, and organizational citizenship behavior item. Participation is completely voluntary, anonymous, and confidential. Our target respondents are working individuals who can provide valuable insight into how engagement drives positive behavior in organizations. For data analysis, we are using SPSS software. We will apply descriptive statistics to determine the level of employee engagement and organizational citizenship behavior through mean and standard deviation. Then, hypothesis testing and multiple linear regression will be used to examine The relationship between engagement and organizational citizenship behavior correlation analysis will help confirm whether the association is significant among employees in the organization.